Smash Factor.
Ripping driver, going for it. Oh my goodness. How about that tee shot?
That is crazy how far that is.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
That's an aggressive line. Man, that is beyond long.
Look at this. He's just driven the green. He has just driven the green.
I guess hello world, huh?
Welcome everybody to the Smash Factor Memorial Tournament, Week 34 of the 2020-2021 PGA season. We are here on a beautiful Monday afternoon. First and foremost, from the entire team at Gups Corner, we want to thank all those that have served this great country and remember those who have given the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom, especially the families as well. Awesome day, obviously, barbecue. I'm heading out in a little while. Had to get all the work done. Rankings, bets, and stuff are all posted for the premium members, but go out there, have a little barbecue, a few adult beverages probably, but always want to remember, make sure you text, reach out to your friends that serve the country. Something I do every Memorial Day. It's a big sacrifice, and not only them, the family members, especially the ones that have passed serving our country and giving us our freedom, is a big deal, and they appreciate when you reach out to them. So don't take that lightly. If you have a few moments to do that today. Recapping last week, fun tournament. Obviously, I think I actually had both outs with Spieth and Kokrak. That wasn't really the big deal for me. It was a so-so week on DraftKings, which with the way I play it, it normally is going to be, either right there, break even, lose a few $100, or have a big week, just because of the top heavy type price structures and some of the things that we do. But the 6 of 6 was 20-25% in spots, higher in some double up stuff like that. My 3 max builds, I had 2 6 of 6s, but nothing really got rolling with them. One of them cashed. My main lineup just didn't ever get into anything, even though it was 6 of 6, didn't really do much. I was above the field average on the MMEs, so had plenty of lineups there and was looking fairly good. That's even with Friday afternoon, I lose Reed, Sungjae, and Lefty, and I think all 3 of them finished +2. I know Lefty and Reed bogeyed 18 to miss the cut, and I think M did as well. So those 3 get in, maybe a little bit different, outtake for me, but all in all, just, slight loss on the week. Garcia killed me on Snedeker killed me on Friday. He came back Sunday and played okay. I think he shot -1, but the +5 on Saturday killed me with Snedeker. Garcia shoots +6. Had both those guys in several lineups that were inside the top 100, top 75 of the big $15, $5, all that kind of big MME stuff. So had some sweat there, but Garcia never got it going. Even Kokrak and Spieth, although they finished 1-2, didn't really score all that well on Sunday. But overall, they still did. They got the money's worth, so they weren't the problem in the lineups. It was just the other part. Reed, M, and Lefty really hurt. I think if they get in, although and the nice thing about those 3 was they were all pretty low owned. And so if they get in, it's not like the 6 of 6 gets that much bigger, but my personal 6 of 6 skyrockets. Reed was one of my top 5 owned last week. So if he gets in alone, he helps out a ton of lineups. Who knows what kind of weekend he has, but if he has a decent weekend, who knows what we could do, but can't do nothing about that now. Betting, we hit Spieth, first round leader, chopped down to 11-1. I saw some of my good troll friends making fun of the 11-1. I'm like, these are the same guys that you'll bet a football game at -110 and you're hyped up, but it was a 22-1 first round leader bet. So to hit 11-1, is it great? I guess I always want bigger, but I want the winner. And I thought the 22-1 number was too much for Spieth in that specific spot, which I don't always bet that low of a number, especially on first round leaders. I do tend to bet better players on first round leaders more often than not. I try to stay in that probably 25 to 70, 80 to 1 number range. Just historically, it's always done well for me. So we hit it. It chopped 11 to 1. I'll take 11 to 1 all day long. I mean, I'm not gonna apologize for hitting another first round leader. Keeps our historical run going. So excited about that. My matchups for May were phenomenal. We stay over 60% hit. I'll have the final numbers probably tonight. When I get back, I'll do them, and I'll update those like I do on Tuesday Tidbits. But another great matchup week. I think we swept Saturday and Sunday. I got to look at all of it, but didn't have Kokrak. Kind of kicking myself for not having them, because I was 2.5x the field in MME. So I liked them, had plenty of them. Why I didn't bet them, not real sure. Kind of kicking myself for that, but is what it is. Special shout out to Mr. Steve Story. He's a big help in the Slack room, personal friend of mine, great golf instructor. He got engaged at Colonial this weekend. Super excited for him. He posted it in the GC Warrior room over the weekend. So congrats, Steve. Hope everything goes well there. I will be at the wedding if I can get that invite. No doubt. Appreciate it. As always, Smash 20 gets you 20% off any package. That includes a 7-day free trial. So come check us out. If you don't like anything in the first 7 days, cancel. You never get charged. Tons of great golf tournaments coming up. We're slowly creeping into where we're going to start hitting you heavy, hard and heavy on football, NFL, college football. We have the best college football coverage in the entire industry. Our NFL is not too bad either. I'll put Ryan's cash game NFL up against anybody else in the country all day, every day. In MME, we did really well last year for football. NFL is my best historical betting sport as well, so can't wait for football this fall. I think it's going to be awesome. Rate and review us on iTunes. We have the U.S. Open coming up in 2 weeks. Well, wait, maybe 3 weeks. I guess technically this week. Not this week, not next week, but the week after. So, 3 weeks. 2 weeks from today, we will be on U.S. Open week. So, I guess that's 3 tournaments if you include this one. Looking forward to that. We will do big giveaways, and I always draw from someone that rate and reviews on iTunes. That goes a long way. Subscribe and like this video on YouTube for me. Tell me who you want to fade in the 10K range. I'm real interested with this 10K range this week with the way I got it ranked and rated out. I want to know who's your favorite play to fade in the 10K range. I will give away YouTube winners on Wednesday on the Movers and Shakers. Listener League, I'm still waiting on it. I don't even know if DraftKings technically is working on Memorial Day. As soon as I get the link, I'll post it up. If it comes out before I get this posted on the audio version, I'll add it to it. Filled it last week, 400. Probably go back to that again. Let's fill it quick. I want to have a super big U.S. Open, but we got to show them that we can fill this thing up quick. Last week winner was MSTUTZEL, 505 points. Morikawa, Answer, Hoffman, Merritt, Munoz, McKinley. A lot of M's there, but great lineup. Hopefully had that in something else. I faded the Answer chalk. He gets in. I think he got in. I don't remember what he shot to make the cut, but had a pretty decent weekend once again. Morikawa same way. He really wasn't doing well, but he stormed into a T14. So not a bad week for Morikawa. I did play some Morikawa. Played Hoffman. Wound up doing fades elsewhere. Answer was one of my big fades of the week. Kind of wanted him to miss, but I'm happy for him winning that. I had some Troy Merritt. He was in plenty of lineups. I did not have Munoz, which kind of the two guys that were top 4 of my next to last pool that got cut that I kicked myself on was Patton Kizzire and Sebastian Munoz. I cut those guys, or 2 of my last 4 cuts to get into my final pool. McNeely I wouldn't have been on. I'm not a big McNeely guy. Rides the putter too much. Looked like he was going to be scary good there on Sunday, but then the back 9 got to him. Had 4 bogeys in a row, I think. But Munoz and Kizzire were 2 that I kind of kicked myself for not going in on or bringing them into that final pool. This week, which is why you guys are here. I'm going to keep it short today. I know it's Memorial Day. We got a lot going on. I know you guys got a lot going on, but I wanted to get the pod out on time. Moorfield Village. Last year was the final year for this course. In that way, it was laid out. Literally began the renovation as the tournament was finishing. So they were showing Rom and those guys coming down the stretch. On the front 9, they're already ripping up greens and all that kind of stuff. This course also hosted the Workday charity event, if you remember last year. So we had back-to-back events. If you want to go look at the Workday leaderboard, definitely set up differently, but doesn't hurt to look at it. Morikawa won that event if you want to take a look at that. Some of the quotes I got, and I read 3 or 4 different articles with Jack and Jack's son quoted in it. It's a new golf course was a quote from Jack. All 18 greens have been stripped and rebuilt with new contours, stretched from 7,300 to 7,600. Greens were relocated on 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 11, and 15. The biggest difference is the sand under the greens was replaced by undulated grains, leading to the ability to have firmer greens. Nicholas II said, "We've always been fighting soft greens here, and now we have to work to keep them soft enough." So a lot more, they can make them as firm as they want, which has been difficult for them in the past. He wanted to be able to do that. They can definitely make them firm this week if they want to. A lot of rain has been there recently, and then more rain Wednesday. So we'll see how firm they can make it go. Typically, new greens are going to be firm anyways, especially bent. It's still par 72, similar structure. They didn't the holes are, some are lengthened out. Some landing zones are a little different. It is bent greens. But you can tell that their motive was to have firm, fast, bent greens. And I think they'll do everything they can to have that for this week. Weather, there's pretty good rain on Wednesday, and then it's like partly scattered showers Thursday and very, very small chance of rain Friday. So nothing crazy after they get past Thursday or Wednesday. The interesting deal is that all the greens, so whenever we did my course up in Tulsa when I was there in 2014, they made every effort to keep every structure of the green the exact same, as close as they could. These, they did not. They did new undulation, new green shapes, and that's why I think the quote of "it's a new golf course" comes in. Is you're not going to have the same breaks or same deals. You're still going to have the same layouts, but I think the greens and putting are going to be a little bit different. I got a guy later on that loves putting on fast greens, especially bent. He won in Augusta, a little hint there. But so, guys like that we can think about, but it is going to be a different course than what these guys have played in the past, just based on everything you read when you read the interviews. And I watched a little show on CBS yesterday. Actually, I was at the gym when it was on, so I was watching it. I'm going to put the cut around +2. Last year was +3. It could be +2, +3. I could see +1. So I got +1 to +3 is kind of my number. So I went +2. It is an invitational type. There's only 120 golfers in it this week. And I got the winner probably somewhere between -13 to -15. Very similar to last week. I don't think it's going to be a birdie fest by any means. Could see it. I don't think we'll see it as low as last year, -9. There was some weather that caused all that. Typically, you've seen this around the 13 to 15 mark, and that's kind of where I've seen it. Some past winners: Rahm, Cantley, Bryson, Duffner, McGirt, Matsu, Kuchar, Woods, Rose, Woods, Ernie Els back in the day, Furyk, Woods. So, you can kind of see there. Some star-studded ones, some runner-ups there: Palmer, Adam Scott, Benion, Fowler, Kevin Na, who I think he's withdrawn now after he got in late. Ricky Fowler, again. So Fowler's played this well. Freddie Boom Boom Couples there back in the early 2000s. So you can kind of tell the typical player, but pretty. Not for the most part, but some star-studded guys have won this, and elite talent. I think it tests all your game, and it certainly will keep that in mind this week. Stats I'm looking at good drives, great approach, accurate approach, opportunities inside 12 feet, ball striking overall, and then bogey avoidance. I do think, parring here is going to be big at certain times. You don't want to give up big numbers. Kind of similar to Colonial. If you just keep trotting along, get your birdies where you can, maybe an eagle here or there. It's a par 72, so more chances at eagles, and birdies in general, having 4 par 5s will do well. Only 9 guys out of the 120 have not played this since 2016. Obviously, course history could take a little bit of a bounce backwards this week with it being a complete remodel and people not knowing the course as well. Still the same layout, so I'm kind of torn there. I am going to look at some course fit, course history, probably just average like I would in any normal week. Where last week, Colonial, I bumped it some. This week, I'll put it back in the normal state. Salary ranges: 10K we have 6, 9K we have 8, 8K we have 11, 7K we have 30, and 6K we have 61. We're going to hit the Sweet 16. 3 picks and a bubble boy for each salary range. My fade of the week, sleeper of the week, gut feel play, monkey knife fights, betting, top 5 pop, and 2 long shots. One and done, and then we'll wrap it up and get out of here and let you guys enjoy your Memorial Day. 9K and above, I'm going to go back to Xander. I hope he burned not only me, but several people on the PGA Championship with the missed cut. Maybe that keeps some people off of him. He's number 2 in my stats, number 1 overall, a 13th and a 14th. He missed a cut in 2018, his first time here. He's 19th. I just love everything about him this week, and it's a bounce back week from him putting some bitter taste in people's mouth at the PGA Championship. I'll ride Xander again. Hovland, I like him a lot. This course, I think, could suit him well. He putts great on bent. Stat-wise, he's 12th. Recent form, he's 4th. 48th last year was the first time he'd ever seen the layout, so I'm not holding that too much against him. 9,900 is kind of that tricky part, kind of like Willie Z last week, depending on where you want to do it, the 10K range. But I like Victor a lot this week. I think this is a course he could definitely get a win on. Tony Finau, kind of been quiet lately. I mean, not really. He used to be chalk in DFS. Nobody would bet him, though. A 20th last week. I don't know if I saw 2 shots of his on the coverage. An 8th at the PGA Championship. His history here in the last 5 years, 11th, 40th, 13th, a miscut, and 8th. So 4 to 5 years, pretty good results. He's 15th in my bent split putting model. 23rd overall is not too great, but I don't mind Tony here, especially if people are going to just kind of not be very high on him in general. Price seems good, 9,200, a top 10 machine. I'll take some Tony. Scheffler, I think he'll be low owned again. He was fairly low on last week, and he missed a cut. I don't see a lot of people jumping on him because of that. A 22nd here last year, 10th in my stat model, 16th in my recent form, 8th in my course fit. Bent greens isn't, he's a little bit below average overall, but I think at 9K, the putting probably worries me a little bit, and some of the short game stuff is why he's on the bubble, but I certainly will have a strong consideration for him. Probably in the MME pools for sure, but on the bubble for, 3 max score type stuff. AK, I'll go back to Neiman. Made the cut last week, didn't do much with it. He hasn't really flourished lately, just been around, right? 18th, a 30th, a 50th. His record here is a 6th, a 27th, and a miscut. So there. 8,800 seems like a good price. I'm hoping we're getting him low owned because he really hadn't just done anything great. He's 6th in my stat model, 11th overall. If he's going to be chalky, I probably don't mind fading him, but I don't think he will be this week. So I like Neiman. Sung Jae, I just mentioned, he kind of burned me last week. He wasn't really high owned. He's kind of like Scheffler. I don't see a lot of people going back to him, but 8,200 feels really good. 18th in the stat model. Not the greatest form here. 57th in a miscut. But with the given of the quote unquote new course, I don't mind taking a shot at him at that price. Like if he was 9,200, I'd probably pass, but 8,200 feels like a good price because he's a top 20 upside potential each and every week. So I don't mind having some of him if it comes that way. Fitzpatrick's a guy I don't normally play, but he's my 3rd pick here. 68th and then a 3rd last year. So I like that. He's a great putter on bent grass, 14th overall. Stats are just average, so that's one worrisome for me. But the only thing that would get me off him if he's just somehow super chalky or talked up this week. I don't think he will be, but that's something I'll take a look at. Fowler is a guy that'll be down anybody's model rank just because of the recent form. But we saw this change. We saw him flourish a little bit at PGA Championship. He has a great track record here. I just mentioned 2 seconds. He has missed a cut a couple times in the last 5 years, so that's something to be aware of. But I don't think he's going to be chalky yet. I think, an 8 to 10, maybe 12%. And I don't mind taking that at 8,000 because I think he can legitimately win here or top 20 if all things are clicking and he's on the upswing. So he's a bubble boy because of was the PGA Championship just a is that it? Are we on the upswing, or was that just a one-off because he had a bad track record coming into that? Don't know that. That's kind of why he's on the bubble for me, but certainly on my radar to keep an eye on as we get to Wednesday. 7K, I'm going to go back to HV3. Was looking great going in at +4 on Thursday and then shot great Friday and Saturday. Was in position to top 5 this thing. Didn't have the best Sunday, finished 32nd. Mixed results here. But if you look at it's really been putting. So I'm hoping being that these greens are neutral to everybody, new breaks, all that kind of stuff, that helps him. Because he's 49th on my course fit model, 57th and 19th, missed the cut the last 2 years. I don't think he'll be as popular as he has even last week, but stat model, he's third for me. So $7,100. If all things are clicking and he's riding the momentum, he had a chance. Like I say, he had a chance top 5 last week easily. Shot a couple over, I believe. Finished 32nd, but I like HV3 this week. Siwoo, said to fade him last week. Didn't like the spot. I'll be back on him this week. 58th in the bent putting greens. His last 5 years here, 2016, a 74th, and then a withdrawal, which I don't know why. I always mark those and I look at them later. But then a 29th, a 41st, and an 18th. Pretty good finishes here. $7,300. He's number 1 in my stat model. Number 8 overall. Last 3 tournaments, though, not the best form. A 55th, a miscut, and then obviously he withdrew from the Charles Schwab after the lightning delay, and he was 4 over on his second round. He was already not doing great. So someone that maybe we get low ownership and cheap and has the upside to probably legitimately win here. But top 20 for sure at 7,300. I like Siwoo a lot. I think good bounce back week for him. Matt Wallace, another guy I really don't play a whole lot of, at $7,400, a 4th here last year, top 30% in bent putting splits. His last 3 tournaments, a 6th, a 55th, and a 56th. 26th in my stat model, but 14th overall. He doesn't do anything just super great, but he's pretty consistent in all the stats I'm looking at. Pretty decent recent form. Putters let him down a little bit. Again, that's something I'll won't look at as hard this week just because these greens are going to be new to everybody. And course fit, he's 2nd. So, I mean, a great showing last year getting the 4th. So I like him at $7,400. My bubble boy is Lucas Glover, who just got in late on a withdrawal. He's 17th overall in my model, an 8th last week. I rode him hard. I had him in a lot of stuff. He struggled a little bit out the gates, but finished great. He's made 5 straight cuts here. Nothing great. A 33rd, a 45th, a 52nd, 52nd, and a 38th. Putter's always an issue with him. Doesn't putt extremely well on bent, but he doesn't putt great anywhere per se. But he's 5th in my stat model. The 8th place last week. I'm just going to ride in form there, and especially you get a course where you kind of neutralize this week. I like Glover at 7,200. Again, top 30 potential upside at that price is great. That's all we need. But the putting does worry me a little bit, so that's why he was the bubble boy. 6K, unlike last week, these kind of rolled off pretty easy. I like Luke List. His last 4 mixed results: a miscut, a 37th, a miscut, a 10th. A miscut last week, but a 6th at Wells Fargo, 61st at AT&T. He's 11th in the stat model. $6,900. I don't think he'll get talked up too much. I like him. I like Wawrinski. Been on him hard and heavy. My boy J-Mac likes him some Richie Wawrinski. And so I've kind of paid attention to him more and more. Last 3 tournaments, a 37th, a 38th, and a 45th. So nothing great, but not bad. 30th in my stat model, 59th in bent putting splits. So, at $6,700, they're always going to have weaknesses, but I like his overall game and his potential. Seb Straka is my next one. 19th in the stat model, looking good stat-wise. A 54th, a 26th, and a missed cut coming in here. 61st here last year, so it's not terrible. 16th in bent putting split. So I like Straka on bent grass. I think this course could suit him well. Some good form coming in. Obviously missed last week, but before that was doing okay. $6,800. Let's get a made cut and top 30 potential. I like that a lot. 1B with him was Redmond. It was real close. I like Doc. Made the cut last week, didn't do anything with it. A 59th, but had a 9th at AT&T, showing some form a little bit again. 2nd in opportunities inside 12 foot, 3rd in accurate approaches, 6th in bogey avoidance. So things I like a lot this week, he's great at. And at $1,600, I'll ride Doc. I talked about it last week. Like when he's clicking, he seems to do it for several weeks in a row. 59th isn't great last week, but he was there. He just didn't have a great weekend. So I'll take some Doc this week, probably low own. My fade of the week right now is going to be Rory. I don't know how high he's going to be. I mean, he'll probably be around that 15% mark, 12 to 15%. He's had a 4th and 8th, a miscut, and a 32nd. I just don't know where his overall game is. Like, he showed the flashes. He won at Wells Fargo, obviously. PGA 49th. But as price, he's got a top 5 at least. And so stat model, he's 36 for me. So I'm not just jumping over the edge to spend 10,600. I really, the 10K range, I'm not uber excited to play a lot of them. Rom, I get it. It's hard to go back-to-back years. JT's been okay. He finished strong last week, but he's definitely struggled at times. Spieth, I probably don't want to play at the highest owned this week. I played him last week. I jumped in. Boy, he seemed to fight it all week. But he was Spieth. Spieth was being Spieth, right? And got around the track and finished second. I can make an argument to fade the entire 10K range this week and not really feel that bad about it. Bryson's on my radar just because of his history here and overall. But I could fade him just as easy. Morikawa, liked him last week, played him, could see him. But I like Schauffele, I like Connors. There's Hovland I talked about earlier. So be interesting to see where we get to once we get to Wednesday night. But my fade for right now is going to be Rory. I really don't want any part of him for this week. My sleeper of the week, a little bit different because it's hard for me to project a sleeper on Monday. And since I come back with the pods on Wednesday, I'm going to go Reed. Now, I know he's not going to be like 5% or anything, but I think he's going to be low owned in the 9K range. He burned people last week, including myself. Pretty good history here. An 8th, a 57th, a 29th, and a 10th. 8th in bent putting splits. He likes fast greens. I just see him as a low-owned, high-upside guy this week. I think he'll definitely be under 10%. So at $9,100, he's a guy I got on my radar, especially if I start fading a lot of that 10K range, which right now I'm not glued into hardly any of them. So Reed's one I'm going to keep an eye on to kind of see where he gets talked up this week. My gut feel plays, I like Tringali. He's 26th in my model. Great on bent grass, $7,600. I like Jason Day. Great history here. Showing some upside of late, 44th at the PGA. His last 5 year series, 27th, 15th, a 44th, a miscut, and a 4th. $7,700 though. That's a good price for him. I like Cam Davis. I like Matsu. That was, I mentioned him earlier. So Matsu, not going to pop in some models, just depend on what you're looking at. But he loves putting on fast greens. And I really think the greens are going to be quick this week. He's got 2 miscuts here, but in the middle of the 2 miscuts, he's got a 45th, a 13th, and a 6th. His upside is he can win here. I don't think many are going to play him at 9,400. I'm going back to my early mentality is I could potentially fade all or maybe all but one of the 10K and kind of load up on this 8, 9K range this week and feel okay about it. I'm fine with that. Obviously, he won the Masters, a 39th at AT&T, a 23rd at the PGA Championship. This course is all about approach. When he's on as good as anybody with his iron. So I like Matsu as well as my last gut feel play. Top 5 that pop and 2 long shots brought to you by Monkey Knife Fight. Go to monkeyknifefight.com. Use the code GUPS, GUPS, 100% match up to $50. All sports covered over there. NASCAR, UFC, football, all over the place in the fall. Golf, NBA, MLB. Go check it out. We have enough content to help you out on that as well. Use the code GUPS, GUPS, for 50% or 100% match up to $50. Top 5 that popped to me: Schauffele 20-1, Neiman 50-1, Scheffler 40-1, Wallace 80-1, and Reed 33-1. 2 long shots: HV3 150-1, and your free bet of the week, Max Homa. Hadn't mentioned him yet. I think this number is I'm not a big Max guy week in and week out, but 125-1 for a guy that when he's on, man, he's on. He can play. Likes bent greens, a 37th here in 2019. I know his form isn't great, but $7,500. I do like him DK-wise, but 125-1 I think is a great number for Max. So that's your free bet of the week, Max Homa, 125-1. One and done. I think guys like Hovland, Schauffele, if you have them, Finau, maybe you're hanging on to Finau, Neiman, Scheffler, maybe a Patrick Cantley. You hadn't used him because he's kind of been up and down. Reed is a guy that could still be out there. Sung Jae is a guy that I don't think many will use. I think guys like that are all in the mix this week. Pretty good prize pool. Next week we get a little bit of a lower level tournament before the U.S. Open, but I'd kind of just plan that out as far as it goes with the segment as well. I'll have my final 5 for you on Wednesday as always. I hope you guys can join us Wednesday, 5:30 Eastern is normally our start time for E9. Kenny joins me when he can, when work is free. I think he's joining me this week. I think he committed to that. Big week this week at the Memorial. Don't forget to use SMASH20. Get 20% off. That includes a 7-day free trial off any package you want to try out. Just come try us out. It's free. And then you can cancel within 7 days. You'll never get charged if you don't like it. I think you'll like it. I think you'll love the Gups Corner Warrior Room private Slack channel. Lots of good things happening over there on any given day. A lot of people in there day in and day out. I hope you guys have a great Memorial Day. Wanted to get this out early. Wanted you guys to have something to listen to later if you get tired of family or whatnot. But I'll be back tomorrow with Tuesday Tidbits. Hope you guys have a blessed day and a blessed week. Thank you, and have a good night.